The power of anxiety. Turn fear into your ultimate weapon. Anxiety, the hidden fuel to conquer any challenge. Have you ever felt adrenaline rushing through your veins right before a big moment? That knot in your stomach, your heart racing, your palms sweating. We're taught to call that anxiety. The world has taught us to run from it, fight it, or try to erase it. But what if I told you you've been wasting your greatest weapon? What if, instead of fighting anxiety, you learned how to use it to dominate any battlefield? Because true power doesn't come from the absence of fear, it comes from the strategy to turn fear into control. At its purest core, anxiety is a signal. It's your body shouting attention, danger ahead. It's your natural warning system, a leftover from a time when being eaten by a predator was a real threat. Today, the predator has changed. It could be pressure at work, a looming deadline, a confrontation with a competitor, but your body still reacts the same way. Most people panic, freeze, or try to silence the alarm. But that's like a soldier hearing the battle horn and running to hide in the barracks instead of preparing for the fight. The mindset I want you to build is that of a warrior who doesn't fear the alarm. He understands that anxiety is a gift, a sign that something important is about to happen. He channels that nervous energy into fuel. He doesn't try to calm it down, he redirects it. He takes that raw energy and turns it into laser focus. Fear sharpens his perception. Adrenaline doesn't paralyze him, it powers him, preparing both his body and mind for action. Think of a gladiator right before entering the arena. Does he feel fear? Of course. Death is a very real possibility. His heart pounds harder, his hands sweat. But he doesn't give in to the feeling. He uses it to focus on every detail. He visualizes every move, every strike, every step his opponent might take. His anxiety becomes his greatest ally, not an enemy, but a cruel master, forcing him to operate at his absolute peak, fully alert. Here's your practical action step for this part, simple but powerful. The next time you feel anxiety taking over, pause for a moment. Don't fight it. Instead, feel it. Feel the energy, the adrenaline, the fear. Then, redirect it. Imagine this energy as a river. Instead of trying to block the current, you build a channel for it. Focus that energy on one single action you need to take. If it's a presentation, use it to review your notes. If it's a tough conversation, use it to visualize exactly what you'll say. This will give you control over your fear and transform it into power. If you're ready to stop running and start using fear as your greatest weapon, hit the like button. Comment the word warrior so I know you're ready to step into the arena. And subscribe to the channel, because in the next part, we'll dive into the strategy for turning panic into pure, unstoppable focus. Warrior breathing. Master panic and take control. On the battlefield, the soldier who panics becomes an easy target. His anxiety makes him run, scream, and reveal his position. But the experienced warrior, the one who has mastered the power and control of his mind, does the exact opposite. He uses the adrenaline of fear not to escape, but to become more lethal. And the key to this strategy isn't in the mind alone, it lies in something even more fundamental: your breathing. Think of anxiety as a wave crashing over you. Your first instinct is to fight it, hold your breath, thrash around. But that only drowns you faster. The warrior who controls his mindset knows anxiety is a wave you must ride. He uses his breathing as the surfboard. He breathes slowly, deeply, intentionally. He's not trying to eliminate fear, he's controlling its physical expression. The heart may be racing, but the breath stays steady. That steadiness, that focus is what separates him from the panicked target. Anxiety makes us breathe short and fast, as if we're suffocating. This sends a panic signal to the brain, creating a vicious loop of fear and loss of control. The warrior breaks that cycle. He uses breathing as a weapon of control and power. He inhales slowly through the nose, filling the abdomen, and exhales through the mouth, as if blowing out a candle. This simple action sends a message of calm to the brain, shattering the panic loop and restoring mental clarity. The beauty of this strategy is that you can use it in any battlefield. Before a big presentation, a tough conversation, or a critical decision, the anxiety will be there. But you won't be its victim anymore. You'll be its master. Fear may still run through your veins, but your mind will be in control. And it's that paradox, the ability to be courageous while afraid, that makes you unstoppable. Here's your action step: a breathing exercise to control panic. When the next wave of anxiety hits, stop what you're doing. Sit or stand still. Close your eyes. Inhale deeply through your nose for a count of 4, filling your abdomen. Hold the breath for 7 seconds. Then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 8. Repeat this cycle just 3 times. That's enough to break the panic loop and regain your focus. This is your surfboard, your lifeboat in the ocean of chaos. Use it. If you're ready to take control of your breath and turn anxiety into your ally, hit like. Comment the word breathe so I know you're ready to face whatever comes your way. And subscribe, because in the next part, we'll transform your greatest fear into your ultimate strength. Mental preparation. Turn fear into a winning strategy. On the battlefield, the warrior who survives isn't the strongest, it's the one best prepared. And preparation isn't just physical. The real strategy happens in the mind, where true power lives. Anxiety makes us imagine the worst-case scenario. It bombards us with what ifs. What if the presentation goes wrong? What if he says no? What if I fail? Most people panic at these thoughts, like a soldier who flees before the battle even begins. But what if your biggest fear could actually be your greatest weapon? The Stoic philosophers had an exercise I call mental battlefield preparation. The idea is simple but brutally effective. They didn't avoid negative thoughts, they invited them in. They sat down and visualized the worst possible outcome. What could truly happen? They could lose their fortune, be exiled, starve. And by visualizing it, they prepared for the inevitable. They asked themselves, if this happens, what will I do? This wasn't about despair, it was about power. Because when you've already faced your greatest fear in your mind, it loses its strength in real life. Your anxiety is your greatest ally in this strategy. It's showing you exactly what scares you. It's handing you free of charge every possible failure scenario. Most people panic and ignore them. But not you. You're a warrior. You use your anxiety as a map of your fears. Every what if is an opportunity to prepare. You're no longer running, you're getting ready for war. Imagine you're about to give an important presentation. Anxiety says, what if you forget your words? What if they ask something you don't know? What if they laugh at you? The average person panics. The warrior says, perfect. Thanks for the heads up. He uses that anxiety as a trigger to prepare even more. He practices the speech again. He studies potential questions. He gets ready for the worst so that, if it happens, it's not a shock, just another challenge. Your practical step: a mental preparation exercise. Next time anxiety attacks with a what if, grab a notebook. Write the scenario down. Then write what you would do if it became reality. What would you do if your presentation completely failed? If you were fired tomorrow? By doing this, you strip fear of its power. You arm yourself with an action plan. And that control is priceless. You're no longer reacting, you're acting. If you're ready to turn your greatest fear into your greatest strength, hit like, comment, ready, so I know you're no longer afraid of what's coming. And subscribe, because in the next part, the final one, we'll unite all these lessons to create your most powerful weapon yet. Power ritual. Transform anxiety into unstoppable action. If you've made it this far, your mind is no longer an unguarded battlefield. You've built your fortress, learned to use anxiety as your personal alarm, and prepared for the worst-case scenario. But our journey isn't over. What separates the warrior who prepares from the warrior who wins is execution. The moment mental strategy becomes real-world power. Picture the warrior. He's trained his mind not to give in to panic, and his body to keep his breathing steady. He's visualized defeat and planned for victory. And when battle day finally arrives, he doesn't hesitate. He doesn't panic. He enters pure focus. Fear may still be there, but his mindset isn't shaken. He uses it. He transforms it into power. And it's that ability to turn panic into precise execution that makes him unstoppable. Your anxiety is your greatest tool in this process. It's the energy that gives you speed, sharp perception, quick reflexes. The problem is most people don't know how to use this energy. They waste it fighting themselves. But you don't. You're a warrior. You use the adrenaline of anxiety as your engine. It gives you the power to speak faster and clearer, to move with agility, to make split-second decisions. You're in total control. Your final action step: create your warrior morning ritual. Every day, before starting your personal battle, sit for 5 minutes. First, do the breathing exercise from part 2 to control your body. Then, think about the biggest challenge of your day. Instead of panicking, visualize it like a gladiator studying his opponent. Think of all the ways you can win. When you're done, stand up and take action. This simple 5-minute habit will turn you into an execution machine, a person who doesn't fear chaos, but uses it for victory. The battlefield is waiting. Your strategy is complete. Your power is in your hands. It's time to step out and dominate. Your anxiety is no longer your enemy, it's your deadliest weapon. Hit like to show you're ready for war. Comment victory, so I know you already see yourself as the warrior you were born to be. Subscribe and share this with someone still battling their own fear, because the world is full of warriors who don't yet know they have the power to win.